We have Jay Bender with us today, and we are talking about the election, which the early voting begins Monday, in the runoff for County Court at Law Judge for Court at Law number 6.
Correct.
Courts at Law cover Class B and A misdemeanors.
That's correct.
As well as some lawsuits under $100,000. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you've made it through the first round. Congratulations.
Thanks. Well, thanks for visiting with me too.
You're welcome. I'm glad to have you. I'd like you to take just a minute to introduce yourself to the people who might watch this and tell them why they should vote for you.
Sure. Well, my name is Jay Bender, and it's easy to remember Bender on the ballot for County Court at Law number 6. You summed it up very well, in that this is a court that handles predominantly criminal cases. 85 to 90% of the docket are criminal matters. The civil matters, when you seek money damages, is limited to less than $100,000. It does a couple other things also. It handles appeals from lower courts, such as municipal courts and justices of peace courts, typically traffic tickets, appeals. And it also is the court of original jurisdiction for condemnation lawsuits, eminent domain cases, when the government is seeking to take property potentially for the greater good. With that in mind, my current practice really mimics this exact court, but how I got here is also important, because I'm the only one in this race that's ever been a former prosecutor. I was a former prosecutor in Dallas County, where I worked up my way up, all the way up to felonies, and then I came up here and prosecuted in Collin County before I ever went to private practice. But I am in private practice now, where I sit on the board of the Collin County Criminal Defense Lawyers Association, because I think it's important for the judge to be fair, to see both sides of it. I think that's very important. I have endorsements also that I think are important to the community, such as the Collin County Deputies Association, the Plano Police Association, because these are criminal matters. But I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I look out for the liberties and the rights of people right now. But it's important for the judge to be fair. And I think if anybody out there, the voter, were to be brought into this court, or themselves, a loved one, close personal friend, they wouldn't want to walk into the court and see a judge that they know can be fair, because that's ultimately the issue.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Every level of government, the state, the county, are facing some pretty serious budget constraints, and major part of Collin County's budget is criminal justice and the jails, and the state it has to do again with criminal justice and incarceration. And everybody's searching for ways to reduce the costs of administering justice and incarcerating people. One of the things that seems to be in vogue now, that is being tried a lot, and I expect the legislature to really push it this year, is going to be the creation of specialty courts. The theory being that these courts can be more efficiently handle a certain class of crime or a certain class of offender, and that they can get closer to that offender and come up with more creative ways of keeping that person out of prison and keeping them from reoffending. Collin County has a specialty court right now, the DWI court. As a member of the Board of Judges, which you would be if you were elected, you'd have some say in whether these courts were created and how cases are assigned to the different judges. What is your thoughts on the creation of specialty courts in Collin County? Do we need them? Should we try it?
The statistics I have seen, and actually I've dealt with these specific courts. When I was a prosecutor in Dallas County, I was assigned to the Organized Crime Division, where I was a prosecutor in drug court. So it was a specialty court created to handle drug offenses, large drug offenses. We're talking felonies, not what type that this court handles, which are misdemeanors, lower level offenses. But the data that I've seen, the statistics that I have seen, is that specialty courts do work. They help cut down on recidivism when you talk about specialized programs for those particular offenders. And it's particularly drugs, because oftentimes mental health issues are inextricably intertwined with drug-related offenses. But you talk about the DWI court. I think ours is kind of in its infancy, so it's too soon to tell how well it is doing. But everything that I've seen, because I actually practice in these courts, is that it does provide a positive impact to our community. And that's what those things are about.
Thank you.
Providing a positive impact.
Okay, appreciate it. Now, we sent out, the Collin County Observer sent out some questionnaires a couple of months ago, and you responded to it. And one of the questions on the questionnaire was, do you believe that our system of partisan election of trial judges should be continued? And your response I enjoyed. It said, I will let you know after this election that in all seriousness I am conflicted about the issue. And then you talked about your service in the military and some other items. Now, I know it's not after the election, but it's after the first round, and you've certainly had a few months to dip your toes, if you will, in partisan politics.
Yes, sir.
Has your opinion gelled? Have you changed your mind? How do you feel now about partisan election of judges?
Well, I'll tell you, my experience has been perplexing. I would tell you, I really don't like politicking. But I've met some wonderful people, and I made a lot of really good friends, and people that I had as friends, I've gotten to know them better along this campaign. But I am still conflicted, because when you elect, just like I had stated in my written response, which is posted, we run the risk of electing the popular over the qualified. When you talk about judicial races, obviously qualifications are very important. So that is still a risk. Like I responded, I have literally fought for that right to go. But if we take away, and I'm not saying I have a right answer. I have no suggestion, and I hate being asked questions to provide answers without having a suggestion to do it better. Because one of the, our framers really formed our Constitution so that we would take away the ability for any one person to have tyrannical reign over us by giving the government back to the people. And if we appoint judges, which happens in the federal system, now there's a review with the Senate, but if you were to just have one person appoint, you're taking it out of the masses and putting it back into just one person's hand to make a decision. And of course that person's elected, but still it's in one person's hands. I don't have a right answer. I would tell you, just me personally, I really don't enjoy politics. It's a part of the process for me to seek this position which I'm seeking, and that's why I participate in it.
Thank you very much. My last question, and really you've got only about a minute, so it's going to be tough. But as a trial judge, if you're elected, what can you do as you as a judge to assure the people that come into your courtroom, be they litigants, be they jurors, be they defendants, or state, that the business of your court is justice and that they will be treated fairly?
That's a great question. Because in my race, I'm really the one with the trial experience. And having seen it, just like I started out this interview with, I've seen both sides. I've prosecuted, I've defended. I've been on jury duty. I wasn't selected to be a member of the jury, but I showed up and I participated in that process. Actually in County Court at Law Number 4 here in Collin County. One thing I can say is that it's important for the judge to be fair. That's an absolute part of justice. I'm the one person in this race that has been a prosecutor. I'm currently a defense attorney. I'm on the board of the Collin County Criminal Defense Lawyers, but I'm still endorsed by law enforcement. I have other endorsements also by organizations. But when you talk about being fair and just, you're absolutely right. When people walk in and see that person on the bench, they have to know that that person can be fair and just, and I'm that answer.
We are completely out of time. I do want to thank you so much for sitting down with me, and I want to wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Election day is the 13th, and early voting starts Monday. So
Monday,
good luck to
April
you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bill.